Welcome guys. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down 3 ways in which you can get over a breakup as quickly and as effectively as possible. What I want you guys to understand is that going through a breakup is a very, very difficult thing. It can vary depending on whether you broke up with her, whether she broke up with you, and really just how sometimes it's expected, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's them cheating, sometimes something happens, right? So there can be varying different factors as to why you've broken up. But regardless of that, whether you realize it or not, it's not always the easiest thing. So in this video, I want to give you some key things to take away, and that's going to help you to grow and overcome this situation as quickly as possible. So let's get into it. Step number 1 is going to be, you have to actually fully break up, right? You guys might be going back and forth. Maybe you've broken up a few times. You have to be at a point where you know you're done. It may be a case that you already did that. You broke up with her, or it may be the case that she broke up with you, all right? You have to break up. You have to accept that. You have to, initially, if you were broken up with, you're gonna be in a state of denial where you don't want to accept what's happened to you. You want to be okay with that and get to a point of acceptance from a healthy place. This is not easy to do, and it takes time. And the best way to get to that point is to experience the emotions, experience everything. A lot of people are going to say when you break up with someone, go out, do this, do that, go and sleep with someone else, which is probably the absolute worst thing you could do, or go hit the gym, go train hard. But really in life, when certain things happen to us, we are allowed to grieve. You're allowed to do that. People are going to say, be a man, be tough, stuff your emotions down. However, I don't think that's beneficial. I think a balance of remaining busy, remaining focused, but allowing those emotions to come up, allowing you to feel those through and experience them, because that's all they are. They're emotions, they're energy in motion. At this stage, they're probably at a very strong and powerful point where it's very, very hard to ignore, and it's probably considerably overwhelming. So this is a good time to grieve. The next step you want to do is go no contact, right? So you stop communicating, okay? You stop sending messages, stop hitting up, stop going back and forth. If you really are done, you guys really have broken up, there's no reason for you to try and reach out to her. Unless there is something you want to say, something that's weighing on you, and it may not be something you experience straight away, but it could, and for someone watching this could be a year, or it could be 6 months, it could be 3 months after breaking up. If there is something that's weighing on your heart and you feel like you just have to get it off your chest, that is what that's saying is getting something off your chest, then by all means, go ahead and send a message, right? But make it a one and only message, and don't beg for her back. Don't be like, oh, I miss you, I want you back. Just say what you want to say and leave it at that, close the book. Typically in many cases, that's going to be the best way to get someone back, is to not even want them back, right? It's a hard concept to get your head around, and sometimes you just need to get what you feel over to that other person. It's not even for them, it's for yourself. It's a form of closure. And again, this is going to help that process of fully accepting, fully breaking up and being okay with that. So the next tip I have, and also just to give some context, guys, I recently went for a breakup in about April of 2023. I broke up with my last girlfriend, and it wasn't an easy thing by any means. I'm quite a stoic person. I'd say I'm quite a tough person, but regardless of that, it does have an effect when you've been with someone for a year or two. That definitely is a relationship that isn't just, you can't just snap your fingers and break away from someone. So that's something to bear in mind. But something I did that really helped me move forward was, and it wasn't easy to do by any means, but I would highly recommend considering doing this, is to just, any photos or anything, any item, any piece of clothing, any gift, any picture, any video, anything, accounts, phone numbers, messages, delete every single one. I know it sounds harsh, I know it sounds savage, I know you love this person, I know you have good memories, but guess what? You're not together anymore. And if you know you're never going to be with this person, why hold on to that? Because what you're doing is you're holding on to something that, if I'm holding on to something, if something else is better to hold on to, and I'm gripping firmly here, I'll miss that opportunity, right? But if my hands are free, when that next thing comes along, I can actually grab onto it. So a super important thing, what I would highly recommend is deleting everything, literally every single thing, so that that person is essentially dead to you. Again, it sounds kind of harsh, but this is what it takes. You know, these things are hard, they're difficult. Our society kind of glamorizes breakups. You know, you listen to any kind of music these days, it's all about breaking up and this stuff, but really it's a traumatic experience. It can be very difficult and it can leave a scar. So that is that. I would highly recommend doing that. Once you've gone through that grieving process, once you have gone no contact for a long period of time, once you have deleted all those photos, the next step, I believe, in overcoming a breakup is to then quote unquote focus on you, right? A lot of people say this, but it's true. You know, you want to be focusing on you, and this is where it gets a little bit more nuanced and a little bit more deep. But what you want to do is not do things for the sake of proving a point to that person, okay? Because what you're doing is you're actually putting more focus on them, right? You trying to prove a point, you trying to show them that you're different, can be very, very motivating. It can give you a lot of force and a lot of power. And I contradict myself again with what I say. I think there can be a small place for that, but really, if you want to, you know, feel the best and actually get to a state of pure, actual, real joy and real happiness, you want to start focusing on yourself, and being present. And you know, you really know, I notice for myself, like when I'm doing well, is when my thoughts nothing comes up of that person, you know, for like days at a time. You know that you're doing the right thing, and the way you achieve that is through your purpose, it's through your focus, it's through your discipline, it's through hobbies, it's through building businesses, through training, fitness, it's through reading, it's through bettering yourself, doing positive things. A lot of people fall into the trap of coping, you know, rather, so what I just described there was thriving. People fall in the trap of coping, where they're literally in a state of pain and they're trying to run away from it. And they can fall into things like drugs, they can fall into things like alcohol, casual sex, and all these things just further damage you. They further damage your soul. And when you're emotionally fucked up, like you're in a vulnerable state, right? So the important thing is to focus on you, is to start building positive habits, building positive things, adding positive things to your life, where you start to feel happy, you start to feel more purposeful, you start to actually get a return on investment. And this is by far the best thing you can do, right? But what you will notice, if you do the first 3 steps, naturally, you will start to see that that person wasn't as important as you thought, and you didn't need them as much as you thought you did. To add on to that, and to conclude this video, the one other thing I would highly recommend is removing their social media, in terms of pictures, in terms of items, etc. Just delete them off social media, right? You don't need to see what they're up to, you don't need to see what they're doing. That would keep you emotionally invested. Take them off everything. Take them off Instagram, take them off Snapchat, take them off, delete their phone number, delete their messages, delete their bank, delete them from your Bluetooth, literally everything, almost as if they don't exist. And now it's, like I said, it seems kind of harsh in a way, but really what that's going to do is that's going to really tell your subconscious, this person has no reason, no value anymore, no reason really to be a part of my life. And that's because they don't. You know, if they left you or you left them, you did, you know, likely it's for a reason, right? But in the case of if they left you, it's almost a form of self-respect as well. You know, if someone's going to leave you and they think they can do better than you, then they've made their bed, you know, so they must sleep in it, and that's fair enough. So you have every right to do that, and I genuinely believe that will massively help you on your journey. And I also believe that removing off social media is a great thing to do as well, because you know, and you can work this out if that's something you need to do. Some people have a breakup and like somehow they just aren't affected by it the same way as others. But if you're in a state where you're really trying to move on from someone and you're struggling, this is definitely the right thing to do. You know, remove them, and that's going to help you get over them. To be like, okay, this is it, we're moving forward, you know, and there is likely better women on the way if you put the work in as a man. So there is always positives to everything, and even though in this moment you might feel like this is the worst time and you're struggling massively, but I guarantee if you apply those principles you get on your purpose, You get focused again. You get doing the things that make you feel good and make you feel happy consistently, hanging around the right people, spending time with people that lift you up, that support you. Time is a healer, you know, and give it time and you will actually feel a lot better. I know myself that in the last, let's say 8 months, I'm the best. I feel the best I felt in a long time, but even for me at this point, it's still something that plays on my mind every now and then. So with that said, guys, take those tips on board from this video. Let me know which one you think is the most effective in your own experience. And if you did enjoy this video and the style of video, what I want you to do is go ahead and just subscribe, drop a comment, drop a like, and I will see you all next time.